Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Soulless World. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is getting to that time of the year where the leaves are falling, it's getting cooler, and you can feel all the cool breeze against the back of your neck. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, welcome back, everybody, to the Soulless World. Let's go on and get right into it. So, we have to do a little bit of clearing out first, because I tried my best to do as much as I possibly could before stream, but yeah, with all the resource gathering and stuff I had to do, it kind of is what it is. So you may be wondering, what are we doing today? Because I didn't really specify what we were going to be doing. So today's stream, we are going to be going ahead and building ourselves a cemetery. Now, this is something that I have had planned before regarding Duskhearth and doing something along the lines of, a cemetery. Because I can't think of the last time I ever actually built a cemetery. So I thought to myself, we're in the week of Halloween. What would be the best way to kind of encapsulate the spookiness of Halloween, or just the Day of the Dead, essentially? And I thought a cemetery would be perfect for that. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So after clearing out a little bit of some of the stuff here, specifically the mobs in the trees, we're going to be getting right into it, because I'm actually very excited to do this. Plus, we are also going to be on a bit of a time constraint because I am still dog sitting. So I have to leave the owner's house around 9-ish tonight. So yeah, we basically have until around 9 o'clock to build ourselves a cemetery. And honestly, I think it is certainly possible too. Now, I will say we're probably just going to be starting off with something very basic, very simple, and then expanding on it as we go along. Also, I've been noticing my game is stuttering quite a bit, and I don't really know why. What could possibly be causing that? Trying to see if we lose some. We did drop a little bit. There we go. We hit another drop. I don't know what the heck's going on, but we're not going to let it rain on our parade. We're just going to get right down into it today. So, hope you guys had a lovely weekend. My weekend consisted of dog sitting. So, we have been taking care of doggies. The doggies are great. I love watching these two specific dogs. Very well behaved. Very playful. But yeah, tell me, guys, what were your weekends like? Did you guys do anything fun this weekend? Or did you do nothing? Which is also perfectly fine. I guess another thing I should be asking you guys are, what are your plans for Halloween night? Personally, for me, I will be streaming some spooky games once again, because if you guys haven't been aware, every Friday in the month of October, we have been playing spooky games with Soulspawn, and hopefully this week we will also have Rothrundr joining us. What are the likelihoods of that? I'm not entirely sure just yet, because he does have a child, and I believe they are going trick-or-treating, but we'll see if we can get him to play some spooky games with us too, because I think he only played Phasmophobia with us on the first spooky time of this year, but I don't think he's really played anything else, now that I am recalling. Will, hello, welcome in. Or I'm just calling you Will. Welcome in. How you doing? Or welcome back. I believe a welcome back is in order. Yeah, so we have ourselves some resources here. Obviously, a lot of natural blocks. I probably should have made more mud, although I don't think I'll be using too much of it. Heck, we might even try to go get some regular mud for that, just because I think that might be in order. So, what are the boundaries of the cemetery here going to be? Now, we are honestly not that far away from Duskhearth, but I plan on having more of the village and such sitting off basically from this border here, going this way. It's not going to be a super large village, but it's a village nonetheless. So what I will be doing eventually is planting a whole bunch of trees, doing a lot more terraforming as well, and hopefully we'll have this secluded cemetery sitting off to the side here, well, to the south of Duskhearth. That's kind of the game plan here today. So basically, wherever you see the podzol is where we are going to be putting. That's kind of like our boundary for building this cemetery. So I want this to obviously look really run down. I want it to look old and ancient almost. Like there's some dark magic that's kind of behind this place. I think that would be a really cool concept idea for this. Kind of like the humans that practice necromancy, or I won't even say necromancy, but like dark magic, blood magic perhaps, I don't know. Just kind of sitting off to the side here, you know. Yeah, I think this will look very nice. Now, I may use a mix of spruce and pale oak for a more sinister vibe to the cemetery, perhaps. I'm pretty much just setting down these cobblestone because I'm trying to give myself a bit of a border to work with. So I'll probably just end up moving some of this stuff up here so it's kind of out of the way. And I do want to try and do some custom trees because still something I very much struggle with, but I want to eventually get good with. So yeah, we'll try to do some custom trees. I don't know about today, but definitely in the future. The spooky dookie magic, you mean? Yes, exactly. The spooky dookie magic occurs down in this cemetery here. I haven't written any lore specific for this cemetery or anything like that. I don't know if I will. It might have like a little anecdote or a note somewhere on the WorldAnvil page at some point, but I don't think it's gonna be of any major significance just yet. That very well could change in the future. It's all a matter of just seeing what happens, I guess, with this world. It's forever adapting. Yeah, forever adapting. I definitely gotta move some of the stuff here really quick. So all the wood. Trying to sort as much as I can. I'm going to have so many chests just scattered about this region here, and I really should try to avoid doing that, but at the same time it just kind of happens. Like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time today. I'm very excited to get to work on this. Also, we're going to be experimenting with some of the newer blocks too, like leaf litter. I actually haven't really used leaf litter in like any of my builds, so I'm thinking definitely for that sinister vibe, we gotta use some leaf litter too. Like, it just makes sense. Am I right? You know, an old, I wouldn't even say decaying, but just, you know, back in the woods somewhere where nobody can hear you scream. just spooky stuff, okay? So yeah, we got some of that. We got some of this. Now, I'm trying to think of what kind of pathway I would like to do because I want this to feel old and not necessarily ruined, but definitely kind of overgrown. We'll definitely need some of these firefly bushes. We'll also need... We'll take a couple stacks of packed mud, take some spruce logs, and we'll definitely need some coarse dirt too. So we are going to go ahead and grab, let's just do 3 stacks for now. And I primarily want to use my cobblestone and stone, specifically more so cobblestone than anything. But yeah, we're going to need a lot of cracked stone bricks. And probably some mossy bricks too, I think. Yeah, I think we might have to do some mossy bricks as well. But I'm just going to take a few stacks of cobblestone. We're going to make some stairs, some walls, some slabs. And make sure that we also grab the couple stacks of mossy because I feel like I'm going to need all this. And have I overloaded my inventory? Maybe just a little bit, but hey, it's fine. It's all part of the process. It is all part of the process. So starting here, this is where kind of like the path is going to go. And obviously we're going to have it kind of wind a little bit. Do something similar to what we did over in the front of the mountain. And it's also getting dark already. Let's go ahead and sleep. One interesting thing that I was potentially thinking of doing too was using this hill here as some sort of mausoleum, potentially. Obviously, we'll have like some older, have some other like above surface mausoleums, but like this specific mausoleum would be like some sort of, think of it as like a dungeon almost. That's kind of like the idea that I have going on in my head currently. So yeah, pods we'll use some. I don't want to use too much cobble because I want to make sure that this feels ruined. The path is overgrown. So we'll also snag up primarily some mossy cobblestone. We should probably also use either some regular moss or pale moss as well. I think that would probably be pretty ideal, if I must say so myself. Using some moss, carpets. What else would we use? What else could we use to make this place feel a little more dead? I don't know. So I'm honestly not the biggest fan of having the packed mud in here. I think having a darker block like regular mud would work so much better, but I currently don't have regular mud. So I might have to make myself a mud farm at some point here, because yeah. But for now, this will suffice. I think having this specific combination of blocks here will be just fine. I really have no idea what the heck is going on with my computer right now. Why we are having so many stuttering issues. but we are. I don't like it. I'm potentially also thinking of maybe using a few path blocks here and there, just because I think it will help bring a little more depth and just a tiny bit more color, perhaps, to the path. Now, obviously, this looks very flat and only going really one way, but once we kind of determine where we want to go with the paths, like once we have them defined, then we can start to do a bit more with the paths and expanding them so that they're not so flat. All right, let's get rid of that. Sorry. One of the dogs came up to me. Okay. So we're getting close to a corner here. So I'm thinking we will turn the path this way. Like I said, I didn't want this to be a humongous cemetery, but like small enough that it's, or not too big, but not too small at the same time. That's kind of my thoughts with this. And I am planning on kind of doing a bit more with the podzol here, just because I don't want just basic. The terrain or the generation of podzol when you grow these trees, it's very, I wouldn't even say spherical, but it's not perfect by any means. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it. But basically, just having more podzols spreading out from the cemetery is something I would very much like to do. And I'm trying to do that, as much of that as I can right now, to kind of use up this podzol and not let it despawn. Although I could just throw it into a chest. Yeah, we'll have obviously like some green from grass and moss and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I just want to primarily have this the ground covered in podzol, because it kind of fits better with the dead vibe of this area here. So yeah, just kind of helping it branch out a bit. All right, pick up this podzol. Hopefully I have enough space. Nope. Okay. All right, let's start throwing in more cobble. Boop, boop, beep, bap. Just a sprinkle of cobble. All right, then mossy cobble we can certainly throw more of in here. I guess the way that I'm trying to explain how I want this path to be is like it's buried. It's buried under a lot of roots, grass. So you want more of the natural blocks compared to what used to be the bricks in the ground for the pathways. I feel like that kind of explains my ideas, my thought process with this. And once again, like I said, wish I had some mud just to help darken the path a bit. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. One thing I also probably meant to do, well, I did mean to do, was throw in some spruce. But I think we'll throw it in once we get the coarse dirt in. To kind of give us a better idea of the pattern, I guess. I guess there's not really much of a pattern. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. All right. Okay. So I think we pretty much have the paths done. Want to throw in just a few path blocks, not a lot. Perfect. Now we can go ahead. Do I want to do spruce? I think I might sprinkle a little bit in, just to kind of throw a darker block in here. I think that is a pretty decent idea. I'm not gonna lie, whatever the heck this stuttering issue is that's currently going on is really bothering me. I don't know. Have I restarted my computer today? I thought I did. I should specify laptop. I guess it doesn't really make much of a difference, but still. Normally, if you don't restart your laptop, it can lead to some performance issues. Usually not that often. All right, so we have a defined path now. We just need to branch it out a little bit, make it look a little more natural, and then we'll start working on the decrepit walls and such. And one thing I just thought of too was getting some iron bars and some candles. Ooh. Also, what the frick? That right there, that's not acceptable. I'm going to put some of this stuff away. Just because I don't think I need to have this many blocks on me. All right, first and foremost, we're going to fix this issue. And boop. And now we're going to quickly run over to storage and get some iron bars. I'll also have to get some gray dye. Or light gray. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Also did not mean to faceplant into the wall there. But hey, it's fine. So let's get some iron bars. I already might have some candles pre-made that I might just have to dye. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Nothing in there. Oh, we do have a lot more packed mud here. No, that's good. That's good. Nothing. Really? Actually, I think the candles, I might have put them with the items. Did I? What did I do with the candles? I don't know. But you know what? We'll just take a full stack. It'll be fine. Well, if I don't, you know, accidentally kill myself running into the most random stuff ever. Holy crap, Z-Man. Control yourself. All right. So, actually, I think I might know where they are. I should have candles sitting back over at this market stall. Also, light gray might end up working too. No? Interesting. I definitely thought I had more candles than I actually do. Well, with that being said, I'm going to grab a couple stacks of string from the storage room to make candles. This one. Nope. Aha. We'll grab, I think 2 stacks will be fine. We're not going to be doing a ton of detailing right now. I mostly just want to get a majority of the quote-unquote structure done. All right, bee farm, how have you been producing? You're doing really well, actually. Yeah, you are. I think, yeah, that's also just full. We'll just grab 2 stacks. It's no big deal. Now, gray dye. Probably should have checked for that, but I did not. Whoops. But gray dye is not hard to get. We just have to break the oxide daisy. Well, I guess that's light gray, but I think we might just end up using light gray, because I think light gray will work with iron bars. I apologize that we're kind of just flying back and forth right now. Please hold while Z-Man gets his shit together. Ah, here's some gray dye. Also, here's some candles. Oh, Z-Man. Oh, Z-Man. What about... trying to look for dye. Excuse me. Yeah? Do you have something to say? You have something to say? Nope. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we'll start with the gray candles. Maybe we will experiment really quick, so we don't have a lot of time. I need to keep reminding myself that, just to see what will end up looking better? Will it be the light gray or will it be gray? Because I want to have like some extra spikes, and I'm starting to think it might end up being gray. That works out better. Yeah. All right. These stuttering issues, I'm not liking one bit. I really hope I don't have to restart my computer again, because that would be really annoying. Okay, but for the time being, I think we're good there. We just need to expand on the path. Where's all my coarse dirt? That's regular dirt. Here's a couple more stacks of coarse dirt. Definitely want to throw in more podzol around the entrance here. Probably over here too. But let's just focus on the path first. Actually, we can even just use the podzol that we're picking up. Yeah. Doesn't matter too much for super far out here just yet. But having this all mostly terrained out would be very convenient and nice, I guess. So some of the other blocks I'm thinking of using to also make it blend a little bit better would potentially be some mud, perhaps. Mud might end up working a little bit better for the time being until we get, or the packed mud. I should probably specify that. Packed mud will work temporarily until we get some proper mud blocks. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna find a couple spots where putting the mud down makes sense. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, removing the spruce for podzol makes more sense. I'm just gonna remove these few blocks here and see what I think. Yeah, it definitely does make a difference, in all honesty. It's getting that darker brown color. complements the path a lot better, I think. So yeah, we'll replace all of these with podzol. So put that down, put that down, put that down. Beautiful. Oh no, have that grass there. I didn't necessarily like. I want a couple small splotches of grass. I don't want there to be like any. I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like just random green colors. I want there to be like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm very much blanking right now. I guess what we're just going to do is building as we go. That's really all we can do. All right, so this side needs mud. Put down these mud blocks. It's definitely getting there. Path is definitely widening now. You know what I really wish we could also get is podzol cobble. So like instead of the green, we could get the brown of podzol and mix it with cobblestone. I feel like that's would be a really cool. That's like the perfect block for like what we're doing right now. Like literally perfect. Yeah, I'm just kind of gonna sprinkle some of these mossy cobble out along here. Not too much of it, but just enough that it makes sense. Maybe even some regular, not mossy, some regular cobblestone. How does that look? What? I don't have free cam installed? That's dumb. All right, I think that's good for now. Let's work on the rest of this path. Let's get this done ASAP. Let's go ahead and... Nope. Nope. So, I'm trying to kind of think right now, is like, how many graves and such do I want in the graveyard? Because... I guess this is just a very rough boundary that we have set. It's definitely something that can be worked with. But like, I want to have some trees and other foliage along the edge of this hill, small cliff here. So maybe not too many graves along this area of this part of the graveyard, but probably more so like along the backside here, around in this area too. Probably throw in a mausoleum or two, like there, and then have mostly graves when you're entering in. Ooh, another thing I did not think about though was having like a gravekeeper house or anything like that. I did not think of that. That might be something that we will potentially do at a later date. Like I said, not a whole lot of time in the world to get this graveyard going, and I know I'm just doing a lot of path texturing right now, which might not make a lot of sense, but to me, knowing where our paths are going to be is very critical for the placement. So, might not seem super important to you, but it's super important to me. Okay, let's get rid of this grass patch here. It's very ugly. Don't want it. Do not want it. All right. I really feel like I should not be having all these stuttering issues, but I don't want to restart stream. Because having to restart everything, it's going to take me at least 7 to 10 minutes to get everything back up and running. And having to reset up the stream, and it's just a pain in the ass. But these stuttering issues are really bothering me. And it's definitely not YouTube's end or anything like that. It's 100% me. Ooh, I just had a brilliant idea too. Like, how I mentioned that I wanted to use some of the newer blocks, copper lanterns, guys. That would be so perfect for this project. So perfect. Holy crap! I just realized that. I don't think we've even made a copper lantern yet either. Ooh, we're definitely gonna have to do that. I'm just gonna have to put that back in the memory, or try to remember that for later. All right, so I think for the most part, our path is pretty okay. Oh no. I feel like having it... I feel like we just need to kind of fill in. So it feels a little more natural just removing a couple blocks here and there. Yeah, because that's actually one thing I didn't really do too much of when I was building the path over there, was kind of like narrowing it and expanding it. I didn't do too much of that. So I think doing that here might not be the worst idea. Sorry, I was checking on one of the dogs. All right. So far, so good. All right, I meant to remove these plank blocks because I wanted Podzol instead. Right. I guess with throwing in this Podzol in the path too, it does kind of help with making it feel a little bit more narrow, but not to the point where it's just the path is all over the place. All right, beautiful. All right, I think we're good on that. So now what we want to do is start building up some of the walls. Kind of get a better idea of the layout of this place. So what I'm going to do is come up here, get some mossy walls, some mossy stairs, mossy cobblestone. We're going to start on the gate first. I think that's probably the smartest idea, in all honesty. But I'm also going to, since we're so close to the gate, just start filling in this area with podzol. A little less greenery. A little less greenery. As you're getting into the graveyard. Alright, so... Ooh, wait. Almost forgot already about my cracked bricks. Just gonna throw some of that in there. Keep the podzol. Yeah, for now, that should be good. Moss. What? I thought you could make mossy bricks. Unless you can't, you probably can't do it with cracked bricks. It probably has to be the full bricks. Duh. Yep. Can't be cracked bricks. It's gotta be regular bricks. Okay, then. Okay. Not gonna have too many of these, but just enough. Just enough that it will work. Okay, so let's start with I'm going to get way too intricate with this when it could be the most simple and basic. But this is just me being a tryhard. So, apologies in advance. You know, I probably should have planned this out a little bit better, but I could not for the life of me do that today. Like, I could not. Nope, wrong block. And so we want the arch to feel like it has collapsed a bit. So maybe we even like collapse one of these sides here. So we do maybe not that. Yeah. That just feels a lot better. Now we even have an excuse to throw a mossy cobble right there. All right. What do we want to do here? It's been here for a very long time, so we primarily want to use a lot more of the mossy blocks than anything. Ideally. All right, I'm not going to mess around with the gate too much. I want to start kind of figuring out the layout. So I guess what we should do, so from the gate, five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're kind of getting a better idea of the wall layout, too. You know, it kind of makes sense to just build it out this way. And I think putting up an actual wall will make a lot more sense than just the boundaries that we set. Because once we place the blocks down, we can kind of figure out where we want to knock things out and just put things in general. It's also dark out. Yeah, there's a spider near my bed. Oh, what the heck? Oh, never mind. We are all good. Okay. We can always do a bit of terraforming to push this back if we absolutely want to. I think that's probably what we're gonna end up doing. And I'm actually gonna leave this grass here because in this corner, I'm thinking of putting a tree just kind of like hanging inwards. Yeah, just having like some weeping willow type trees would fit the aesthetic so nice. So then guess I should probably get more cobblestone. So we're gonna go about 5 blocks, so bam. Okay, so right up around here, we'll just kind of do this. Yeah, we'll just do this and fill this in as such. Okay, so now we can go through. Probably gonna need a lot more mossy cobble. It's fine. It's fine. We can just make more. It's not a big deal. We have a whole, well, thought I had a lot more cobblestone than I did. Whoops. and make more slabs. And I probably should also make more stairs. Whoop. Yeah, full stack, sure. Why not? So kind of what I'm thinking is on these corners, we want to have the resemblance of the walls. So we're going to need also, what do I do with my iron bars? Probably going to end up needing more than just that. So, bam. Perfect. So like this corner here, just kind of have some of the bars that had originally held this place together. That is no longer the case. Should probably also get... I guess I could alleviate some of my inventory issues too. Don't need the hoe. And get a fresh stack of food. Torches don't need right now. Axe don't need right now. Shovel we will hang on to. So we'll put some candles in there just to give the bars a little bit more spike in certain spots, as if that's what they were supposed to be before. I should also throw in some more half slabs and stairs. A little more depth in the walls, the ruins that are left here. Probably throwing in some cobblestone walls around here would probably make this look a little bit better too. I'm thinking in certain spots, of course. Obviously, that doesn't connect. Right now, I just need to get the primary structure in, I think. Just realized what time it was already. We're already well over an hour into the stream, so we need to get going. Not focus too heavily on the details. Just getting looking mostly nice. right, so this corner here needs to get some love, some TLC. And I also want to make sure that this spot also has a little bit more to it, because this back here is where the mausoleum is going to be / dungeon thing. So I want to make sure that kind of make this area look a little more prominent, I guess, if that's the word you want to use. I guess throwing in some mossy, some like bricks and stuff into the ground might make that look better too. Like the ground has, like everything's kind of eroded a little bit too. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So that part of the, should probably throw in some more of an arch. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. All right. So far, I think we're doing a pretty solid job. I just need to stop focusing on all the small details and just get the blocks down, then go back around. Mossy bricks. Throwing some more mossy bricks around here. Sprinkle them into the ground a bit too. Thought I had pod salami. Damn it. There's some podzol. How's chat doing? You guys hanging in there, having a good time? What are you guys' thoughts on the build so far? What do you like? What do you dislike? What could be improved? Actually, I just had the idea that maybe potentially having some parts of the ground like covering up the graves or something like that. I don't know. Because like we want these graves to feel like they're centuries old. Maybe I'm just too far into thinking. Also, I'm gonna... Never mind. trying to make sure if Roth is going to be on tonight or not. He said he might, hopefully, but not a guarantee. All right, so far, so good, I'm thinking. Thought maybe throwing a couple more cracked bricks there. We haven't really used too many of those, have we? I don't think so. So sprinkle in a few of those here and there. I think that will work. Not those, not those. Yeah. One thing I just realized is we haven't really even touched the regular cobblestone variants of the stairs and such either. But it's fine. It's fine. Just trying to get the primary structure down. No need to go super overboard right now. Cool. I feel like we're finally starting to hit our stride here, which is very nice. Not too much detailing, but just enough to pass us by. You may be thinking, Z-Man, is there a thought process to how you're doing this? Like any specific techniques or whatever? And to that, I say, nope. If you expected me to think through any of this build, you are wrong. Simply put, I originally wanted to do some planning for it, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it for whatever reason. Just couldn't. Well, I guess I should say it's not that I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's more so I just didn't have the time to really plan this out. I actually don't think I made any mossy brick slabs. Just not realizing that. Whoops. Yeah, it's fine. Not that big of a deal. So, yeah, let's... I actually might need to get some more bricks. Yeah, I'm actually going to need to make myself some more mossy bricks. Thank goodness for all this moss. Thank goodness for that moss farm. This probably would have taken me way longer to get all these resources. And you know what? Finally going to make ourselves some mossy stone brick slabs too. While I'm thinking about it, all right, we're almost done with this part, which is honestly great. Because I definitely wanted to kind of get through this part as quick as possible, just to give us as much time as possible. Okay. Probably just do a little something right in here to kind of fill in this space. Don't need anything super intricate or anything like that. So let's go ahead and sleep through the night. All right, let's see here. Let's see. You're right. Fill in. Probably just do a little bit more with that spot. And then this doesn't have to be anything super big. Just a couple blocks here and there. All right, that should be good, right? Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I think that is pretty solid. Okay, so now that we have the walls done, I think it's time we go ahead and put in some graves. Now, obviously, I don't have enough space. Let's just toss this stuff in here for now. And we'll also do a little more extra detailing on the walls, the ruined walls and such, But I wanted to use patches of coarse dirt. I thought I had more coarse dirt than this. Hello? No? Ah, I mean, here's a little bit more, but very interesting that we don't have all that much coarse dirt left. All right, so we want to do just a couple graves here. Maybe make it a few. Gonna back that up. One more block. Should probably try to avoid ruining the puzzle. Ooh, let me get some cobblestone walls. Probably some mossy cobble too. Just for place marker graves right now, these will do. All right. Yeah, we'll just throw that there. So I guess to kind of give the illusion of like some buried graves in a sense, would, or like overgrown, would be leaving the walls here, but nothing there. So like, oh, the puzzle is taken over the grave. It's covered up. You can't get to it. I feel like we would have a better idea of like the concept of having this all enclosed if we had trees around. Because this, I'm not gonna lie, this does look very open, almost bare, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Actually, do a buried grave here. And then back behind here, we can throw in a couple more. And another buried one there. Okay, so we have, I think we have a pretty solid idea of the grave layout. Now I'm thinking we need to throw in some mausoleums. So let me grab some of the stone bricks, mossy cobble. We'll just grab a couple stacks of cobble for the time being. So we have one grave there. We have the like royal mausoleum if we want to go as far as that, like right there. I don't know if we want to have one super close to it. Maybe like right on the corner here. We do another one. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So decent. I might even make that a little bit smaller, just because that does take up a large space. I feel like that's a bit better. So, big mausoleum, couple small ones. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So we have those established now. We'll kind of do some just not graves that are not lined up. Just kind of scattered about here, I think. Different orientations, like something like these bodies were rushed to be buried almost. There was no care for these ones. Yeah, there we go. And just a couple more random graves here. Who knows? Maybe like some sort of plague. And that seems very generic. Oh no. I definitely think we'll come up with something for the story behind why all these graves are just kind of random. Then we can go back to some sort of organization. Okay. So far, so good, I would say. So let's try to throw in some more iron bars around here. Don't like that there, actually. That one just feels a little bit better. Okay. Iron bar there. And look, it's one of the bodies that were buried here. Go back to sleep. I don't think we're going to need too many more bars here. Just a couple. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Now, obviously, it's not just going to be those markers. I'm thinking we might even try to do... Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think of what we should do for, like, a top part. Yeah, I think we'll start with this. And we won't have them on all of them, just because... I don't know. I don't like that, actually. So that also kind of, yeah. Man, what do I want to do for these? Well, like, I don't think having the marked graves makes sense for how old these things are. So maybe we'll just kind of leave that out, perhaps. Maybe. Okay, I think for now, I think we're just gonna go straight to building the mausoleums. So let's grab our bricks, mossy cobble. Maybe we can even do like a caved in, like maybe this one here is just so old that it's pretty much unrecognizable almost. But like this one over here will actually resemble a proper mausoleum, I think. Let's grab some things. Also, I'm thinking we will also take a short break here once we get... At least we'll get this mausoleum built first, and then we'll take a short break. So, mossy cobble. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking once we actually get some trees in here and close this space, it's gonna feel a lot darker and whatnot. But I think for now, this will suffice. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. So, go ahead, stretch your legs, grab a snack, do what you need to do. We'll be back in just a few. All right, everybody, we are back at it. Top of the game. Okay, so next mausoleum. I'm thinking we definitely want to have like a couple blocks missing from it because it is so old. I mean, for such a small mausoleum type thing that we're building, I don't think it's going to be super necessary to go into a lot of details for the build. At least that's just my honest opinion. Let's see. What do we want to throw here? Probably just a regular old cobble block will suffice. All right, now we got to get the backside of this built. Yeah, it probably would be a good idea to use some of our iron bars as windows. Yeah, thinking that might be a decent idea. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance. I am currently eating an apple. I'm going to try my best to not chew too much or mute myself when I do. Okay. So... Wrath! He is here. Well, at least he's on right now. Okay, so we want to protect, like, obviously, if you think of mausoleums, like people being buried with their, you know, anything that was valuable to them or whatever. So having those bars there will work. I don't know what kind of door I want to have though, like, or maybe not even like valuables or anything like that, but maybe just having a simple spruce door will work. Let's see if he is. Let's hop into
Blizzard.
Duskhearth. Okay. So I'm thinking like the two graves are like right here. Like just in the ground. I don't know. I don't think that's how mausoleums actually work. I think it's more above ground, but we have the windows here, so it makes more sense to put them along the backside here, or on the ground, like so. Okay. Very basic mausoleum is done, but we do want to throw in just a couple small things just to give this a little more decay. We want this to feel decayed, decrepit. It's been here for so freaking long. So, yeah. Okay, I think we should try to get some trees grown around here. So we do have some spruce. Having some spruce trees and pale oak was the initial game plan. I think that's what I still want to stick to. So let's get rid of some of this junk. Nope, gonna want that. So it took me so freaking long to get these saplings, and I kind of hate that I'm wasting saplings on this build specifically because I harvested the saplings for the front of the mountain here, but I need me some pale oak saplings. Did not mean to set my spawn. What did I do? Aha! Here it is. Also, just gonna do myself a favor and replace my pickaxe now. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna throw a few saplings down. And hopefully we get a bunch of varying sizes from these saplings. But it's obviously not a guarantee. Okay. Where? I kind of forgot what I got those bone blocks for. But I guess it kind of is what it is. Grow! This might need a little more space, huh? Probably should replace my shell too. Whoops. Did not do that. I actually hate that. I wanted it to be taller than the entry gate, but it wasn't. It was not. All right, where's my axe? We're going to chop it down. And I think we're going to clear out a little more space over here instead. Not getting too much height with these saplings. At least not enough varying height. Where's my hoe? Get rid of these leaves a little bit faster. Oh my god, that's right. I covered this all up with snow. I covered up the snow with dirt and grass. Completely forgot that I did that. Oops. All right, let's do our best here. Bye, Roth. Okay, so I did grab the. Okay, I did grab the shulker. I was like, wait a minute, did I even bring the shulker that had all the saplings? I want to kind of mix and match these in. So we're gonna have. I feel like that's not much. Ugh. Maybe that's fine, actually. That may be fine. But now, undo everything that I just did over here. Having like a small cliff here might not be a terrible idea, in all honesty. How much snow did I cover up? Good Lord. New Warlord Will. Hello. Welcome in. How you doing? Good night? It is a good night. Or if you're saying good night, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate everybody that stops in. So the reasoning why we did this is because I wanted to throw in pale oak, like right here. And honestly, that's like perfect. Also, who the heck is shooting me? Oh, we even have a zombie pal here. Ow! Ouchie. Ouch. Alright, let's go to sleep. This is what happens when we try to work at nighttime. Ought to... Well, the child's... Ow. Ow. Leave me alone. Okay, so now that tree is there. Good Lord, Z-Man. Why? Why are you like this? And he's back. I guess it does kind of give us a decent path to follow. But now I gotta find a spot to plant this tree. So I want to put another pale oak here. Oh gosh. That's not the best tree to have right there. But I guess it is what it is. I'm like getting zero height with these trees. It's kind of... Oh my god. Holy crap, you scared the crap out of me. I'm planting trees. Part of Team Trees now.
I joined and I just heard ease.
E. Hi Roth, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm finally giving myself a bit of a break from the mountain and Carmelithor in general. I'm building a cemetery today in honor of spooky season.
Wow.
If only these trees would grow better, though.
Yeah, too bad we don't have like a bone meal farm, so you could just like instantly make them grow.
No, I am making them instantly grow. It's just that they're not getting the height that I want them to have. It's kind of frustrating. So you would think spruce trees would grow taller, but they're not. I think there might be a trick that I can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's ways in place you can place bloxes.
Okay, Golem.
Bloxes. Place blocks and torches.
Yeah,
So that they grow.
I thought that's what the trick was, but I don't know if that was
Not
ever
even-
patched or not.
Be like glass as well. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Like it's kind of sad that my pale oak trees are growing. Some of them are growing taller than the actual spruce themselves. All right, we're gonna try one more time. You son of a gun. Alright, so if I recall correctly...
Somewhere around here I didn't do a good job lighting up.
Ruh-roh.
Your zombies. Well, that's a problem for later.
That was only slightly concerning. My earbud just started popping out of nowhere. It's like, oh no. Is it about to die?
No, Z-Man, that's your eardrum rupturing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's just your earbud.
Nah.
Either that or you have a very high pain tolerance.
What? What are you saying? Bro, this tree does not want to grow.
The trees hate you.
Clearly. Very clearly.
I gotta send you that video.
Video?
Yeah, the trees hate you. It's a video.
Interesting. Did not know that was even a thing, to be quite frank with you. I hate the single spruce trees so freaking much. You know, if I was just good at building trees, I wouldn't need to use generic spruce.
Yeah. I mean, they can just be there until you get good at building trees.
See, that's exactly what I was saying too.
They can, you know, you fill out the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to make this place feel like it's secluded. Because this is basically a really old cemetery right to the south of Duskhearth that, like, was made centuries ago, and, like, nobody goes there except for, like, blood magic and stuff like that. So I'm actually doing like a combination of spruce and pale oak to kind of, because I think the pale oak suits a cemetery very well. Like they just have a dead look, like willow trees as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought process.
Speaking of blood
I-
magic. Quick spoiler warning for any Critical Role fans out there. Okay, that's your buffer. Campaign 4, episode 4. They've already killed a player character.
Jesus Christ.
But
was it an important
like,
character?
I mean, they're all important, I think. Like, but it's kind of part of the story. Like the character fully died. Like, I'm not sure how familiar you are with D&D mechanics, but like usually, oh, you hit 0, you get your death saving throws, basically, right?
Yeah.
Well, this character took so much damage, and I think if you take double your max hit points worth of damage, or you take, or no, it would be if you take damage equal to the basically the negative version of your max hit points. So in this case, he had 24 health, and he took enough damage from 0 to hit negative 24. And so in that case, there's a rule that's like, okay, if you take basically that much damage, like 0 minus whatever your max health is worth of damage, you insta-die, and you don't get to do your death saving throws, and that's what happened to this character.
Oh, God.
And then, yeah, there's this whole thing where there were, like, in the, I guess, in the underworld, basically, as, like, kind of a spirit, and then, so the DM still had them making, like, rolls and stuff, and then, like, their spirit, like, died. They were, like, double dead. And because I was like, thinking as this is happening, like, as long as like the spirit's alive with the way the magic in the world works and stuff, like maybe there's a chance they can bring him back. And yeah.
There's no saving that.
Yeah, like double dead. And that was like in the first half. The character like died like within the first hour of the show, I think. And then like they had the whole spirit world stuff happen a little bit later, and then they went on their break, and then at the very end of the show, so this is like over 5 hours, I think, by this point. One of the characters is a what's it called? I think it's called like a divination wizard or something like that.
Okay.
So they get what's called portent rolls, and basically the lore of the divination wizard is like they get glimpses of the future. And so at the beginning of each session, it's technically each day or whatever, but like, yeah, at the beginning of the session, they roll 2d20s, and then any roll, they basically can use the numbers they roll on that instead of rolling at any point during that session.
Interesting.
And that character rolled a 2 and a 20. And so they were kind of able to bring this character back because there's a very powerful magical artifact that was placed when he died, was placed in his chest in place of his heart. He had his heart removed. And so then they like magically, surgically removed that. She used the 20 roll because the difficulty for succeeding at this was
insane.
30, so you needed a 20 basically.
Okay.
Use that, and yeah, they kind of brought the character back. He's like, I think they said he's a revenant now. So he's like not really dead, but not really alive.
So kind of like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Maybe. Like I think
Do,
the
do
D&D
they still
term
have
is
their
hollowed one? Hollowed one. And so like this character now, like they still don't have their heart because someone was like, can I
Right.
like put my hand on his chest? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, okay, do I feel a heartbeat? And I'm like, no, but like he's there talking. He like remembers what happened to him and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's like crazy. But like, it's almost like the magical artifact like imprinted his soul back into him, even though his soul was like unraveled in the underworld. But like, dang, that was a very much a roller coaster of an episode.
It sounds like it.
Very, very wild, crazy stuff. And we also found out, which like this was kind of overshadowed, but like also very extremely crazy. One of the characters is a mask that wears people.
Huh?
So the character is a mask that was created, I think, to kill a god. And basically the mask, like when its body that it's attached to is like dying, it'll
Like, yeah, I think I know what you're trying to say.
the mask will like go onto another body and like basically take over the body, and like that body becomes the mask. Like I don't know.
That's a interesting mechanic, to say the least.
Like, huh? Yeah, because I was like at the beginning they had this thing where the character, his name is Belair, like went to this shady place, met a guy. The guy was like, thought he ripped him off on some deal, and so then he rips the mask off of Belair, and it's like this basically like guy that's just old and like sickly and dying, falls to the ground unconscious. And then it says the guy that took it off was like looking at the back of the mask, and then it went away. And then it was like, all right, Belair, you wake up, and next to you is a dead body. And so then it's like Belair is like, all right, I'll take the clothes off, fold them in a neat pile, cut the hair off of this dead body, and then like chop up the body and dispose of it. And that was like it. And then like I was like, I told Waffle, I was like, dude, I think like the way that he was talking about it was like, I'm pretty sure like his character is the mask. Like I'm pretty sure like, yeah, he just like, yeah, it's super weird and crazy. And then it was like later revealed in the episode that is indeed what happened. And I was like, what the heck? I don't even know how people come up with that crazy stuff.
I don't either,
but
in all honesty.
Now it's just fueling my want to play D&D even more.
Don't worry, we're just going to turn this world into a
Anyways.
D&D world.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyways, that's my spooky story for Halloween this week.
I'm sorry, Antworm? Hello, welcome in. Sorry, I'm just now seeing your messages pop in. Is that a survival world or a server? This is we're calling it a forever server, where it's me and my buddy Roth that you're hearing on the other end, and we're basically creating our own fantasy universe, adding in lore, different storylines, a whole bunch of things. And it's gonna be fun. Because if you can't tell, we both really enjoy D&D and fantasy stuff in general. But yeah, the Soulless World is a private world. Oh. Alright. Do I have at least have enough trees now? I feel like we need to throw in some trees in the graveyard, though. But I think I might save that for growing some custom tree. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do some custom trees at a later point for this. I just don't think it's gonna work. Having the regular trees in here. Let's see if I can get this tree to grow. Oh, wow, I did. I do D&D Saturdays with my family. Nice. Nice. I would like to play D&D again. I just have no time on my hands to really do it. Is my problem.
Yeah. Like, I have... Technically, I have time, but, like...
Oh, look at
it's
you.
usually not when other people have time.
Valid.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to start growing some grass here. Make this place look even more overgrown. What time is it? 8:36. Got approximately 25-ish minutes to get this place looking nice. Yeah, because earlier today when I was like talking out my thoughts and ideas for this, like I wanted to have a like a larger mausoleum that's basically like a dungeon almost.
Yeah.
And just, have like some sort of thing for story and lore. It'd be fun. How often do you stream? I stream Soulless World every Monday, starting at 6 p.m. EST. And then I also stream Vintage Story every Thursday, 6 p.m. EST. And during the month of October, me and my friends are doing the spooky games every Friday, 6 p.m. If you couldn't tell, I live on the East Coast, so everything is EST, obviously. But yeah, at least 2 times a week, and I try to upload at least once a week, but I have been a bad boy and have not uploaded in a couple weeks. But I intend to get an episode of my Middle-earth series out this Saturday. Ideally. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we should probably talk with Soul about what we want to play.
So,
Saturday, or not Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
One of those days of the week.
Well, I know what we're playing Saturday.
True.
Your EST2, nice. So Soulspawn and I have gotten pretty decent at Demonologist, and we've actually unlocked a couple new maps that we did not touch last time we streamed. So
What you're
we
saying
initially
is you want a more difficult challenge by having me join.
So we were gonna say, hey Roth, you should totally play with us. So I think we wanted to at least do Demonologist.
Be down for that.
You are down?
Yeah.
Yes! I'm so excited now. I won't be the only one screaming.
Yeah, I like Demonologist. Especially the map where you get a salt gun and you can shoot the demon.
Oh yeah, the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, Demonologist, great game. Also, thank you so much for subscribing, Antworm. Welcome to the Zephium. Just trying to make this place look overgrown, damn it. I probably should have... I don't think I could silk touch grass, though, is the problem. Can I? No. I think I have to shear it, actually. Because that makes the most sense. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, do you need wildflowers for anything?
Wildflowers. What colors are those?
Yellow.
Yellow. Not at the moment.
Josh. Dang it. Yeah, I think I'm doing a pretty good job of making this look overgrown. I probably should have gotten some leaves, now that I think about it. I did not do that to make some bushes. Is it just me, or has Minecraft servers started getting more chaotic and complex? I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of server that you're playing on. Like, for example, me and Roth here having this server, it's very casual. Like, we take things at our own pace. We don't try to rush projects. We just really go with the flow for a lot of things. Like, for example, this mountain that should have been built so long ago, but I haven't finished it because I've just been bouncing around so I don't get burnt out doing one specific thing. But yeah, this mountain's this whole kingdom that I'm making, it's taken me well over a year. Well, more like 10 months at this point. So I want to say I started this roughly around mid-December, early January at the absolute latest. So, yeah.
I wonder if we could convince Soulspawn to play D&D.
I'm sure we could.
I just had an idea.
Oh boy. What's your idea?
Well, so Waffle is running a campaign for some of her friends right now. Saturday,
Yeah.
like every other Saturday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was kind of thinking, I guess it would depend. But like, if we did like obviously once October is over, which isn't long, but then like, I don't know, were we doing anything on Friday night? But I also, I don't know if she would want to run two at once, but I don't know.
I feel like that would be a lot, in all honesty. I can tell you put a lot of work into it. Yes, this has taken me an extremely long time. With and with the combination of doing the resource gathering, doing the mining, like, this project is low-key insane. Crap. How much time do I? 15-ish minutes. I thought I had some copper already smelted. It might all be over in the other storage room. Yeah, it might be over in here that all of our... No? I swear I smelted up more copper than this. Oh wait, I think I need coal for that too. Finally get my first look at copper torches. And making copper lanterns finally.
Those will be good. Nice and spooky.
Exactly. It's supposed to be nice and spooky.
Get out of here, you dumb rabbit.
Hey. What'd I do?
Dude, I'm walking around. I got gold carrots in my offhand. And these rabbits, man, they just follow me everywhere. I'm trying to place blocks. Then they like hop down and I don't see them. And then I feed them my gold carrots.
Oh, yeah.
It annoys me.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the green lanterns turn out really nice.
Green Lantern? I didn't realize we were in a DC movie.
Oh, you're so funny, Roth.
Yeah. What I'm here for.
I'm going to try to strategically place these lanterns around. I don't know why I'm lagging so freaking much, but I am. It's got to be something with my laptop. Ooh, almost forgot the leaf litter. Gotta get some of that. Firefly bushes too might actually be a nice hidden gem. Let's try to get some more of those. Probably didn't need to make that many. What heck? At least we have enough. I cannot even build, let alone survive in a cave for 5 minutes. I mean, all it takes is practice.
Yeah, I have a pathway up to my castle now.
Look at you go. If you don't mind not sleeping, like right away. Because I want to see what this place will look like with the firefly bushes and everything.
Gotcha. Can do.
Thanks, buddy. I'm trying my best to kind of conceal these, but I don't know how well that's gonna go. I might try to also get some dead bushes, like OG dead bushes.
Yeah.
I think they would be really good complementary blocks for this area. Alright, so that's mostly hidden. Let's try to hide this. All right. I need to get darker faster.
That'll get a reverse bed.
You're absolutely right. Oh, yeah. Having these dead leaves is so good. They blend in quite a bit with the podzol, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but oh well. It is what it is. I really wish you could select the voxel to place down the leaf litter instead of having it be just as it is right now. Yeah, directional. That's the word.
Yeah.
Oh. You didn't get kicked, did you?
Sure did. I thought my whole internet died there for a sec.
Uh-oh. Good news, the world's still up. That was
Some weird stuff going on with me trying to break and place blocks, and I was like,
So it's your fault.
You didn't say it was my fault. I just said I noticed weird stuff happening, and then I was like, huh? Then it said goodbye.
Bye-bye. Cool. I don't have enough Leaf Leader, but it's at least a good start. I'm forever flying. Whee! Oh, there we go. What the hell is going on? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What is this saying? Maybe it didn't like me placing down the leaf litter. I don't know. I've been playing Minecraft for 6 years and spent most of the time in creative on my server trolling because I cannot survive in survival. I mean, everybody can play Minecraft however they choose to do so. I'm kind of waiting to see what nighttime looks like. I mean, we're pretty much there, but I think this is pretty much where we're gonna have to stop for tonight, just because, like I said earlier today, I don't have a lot of time. Still, I gotta get going here shortly, so. But it is getting dark out, which is great. Ooh, I guess while we wait, I should probably start figuring out how we want this path to go. So yeah, combination of spruce trees and pale oak I think suits this really well. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it, Picasso. Ooh, okay. Yes. Not too many lights. We have the copper lanterns, though, that look very nice. Sitting in some of the corners. Once we actually get some custom trees in here, I think it'll look a whole lot better and a lot less open. But at least having this border of trees makes this feel a lot less open. Feels more enclosed, which I like. Yeah, I like it. I like the progress that we made with this today. Okay. So, with that being said, this is where we're going to go ahead and freaking, you've got to be shitting me. Of fucking course, a creeper sneaks up behind me. That's really annoying, actually. But I'll fix it at a later date. I like this. I like what we were able to accomplish. Just ignore that hole there, okay? Just ignore it. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end off the stream tonight. thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did and you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that like button. Check out all the links below for all my social medias. Consider joining my community Discord as well. Love to chat with you guys in there. And if you want to see more Soulless World content just like this, consider subscribing as well. And I also want to say a huge shout out and thank you to all my channel members. You guys are absolutely amazing. And if you want to be absolutely amazing just like them, consider becoming a channel member today. Never required, but always greatly appreciated. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.